Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank, starts now.
Welcome to Season Pass. I'm your host, Brian Cunningham. 3 months later, and we're officially back. I missed the graphic. I missed the sound. I hope you had a great break because it's time for this year's edition of Season Pass. Scores and highlights from across the Concho Valley. Fall sports now back in action. Football highlights the next weekends for us for the next 3 months. Griff McClellan also joins us again in studio for everything Angelo State. But we're going to start locally under the lights. It's finally that time of the year. 23 teams were in action on week 1 in the Concho Valley. Central Bobcats up first. Week 1 of the football season is officially underway. Bobcats taking on a tough non-district top 5 team in what is the 104th meeting between these two first quarter action. Bobcats are going to come up lucky here. Tristan Beal has the ball stripped from him. Bobcats recover and head the other way, and 2 plays later the Bobcats are going to find a crease on the far side of the field. Plenty of space ahead, but he's going to be brought down at the 2-yard line. Next play, Micah Smith, the new Central quarterback, is going to keep it himself, break a tackle. He's going to score on the play here and send Central up early 7-0, and still the first quarter the Eagles hold up the running back. Jaden Stark strips the ball, heads the other way. 63-yard big man touchdown. We are tied at 7, 3rd and short for Central. A pair of Eagles make the tackle as the receiver catches it. That's going to force a Bobcats punt. The Bobcats, they just couldn't hold on to this one. Central falls 42-21 to open their season. Bobcats are going to face Amarillo week 2 for this home opener. And Lakeview up now. The Chiefs at home to open up 2025, hosting Fort Stockton with the overall record of 25-16. The Chiefs had a great opening night. Second quarter action. Alviso hands it off left side, finds the cut. First down on the play for the Chiefs. Lakeview marching down the field before halftime. Alviso in the pocket looks deep and throws it just out of reach of his receiver and the would-be potential one-handed catch. A couple plays later, though, they hit pay dirt. Chiefs in Panthers territory. Chris Alviso to Braylon White. That's going to be the connection this year for the spectacular diving catch. Chiefs up 12-7, and Lakeview to go for 2, and they get it. Up 7 at halftime. Second effort for the boys here. Braylon White, I told you, remember the name. A fantastic play for the 2-point try. Lakeview dominates in this home opener, 42-7. Final score, Chiefs are facing Snyder week 2 on the road. And TLCA at home to kick off the 2025 season, hosting a very tough Tahoka team to start non-district play at Lakeview Stadium. Great crowd at Lakeview Stadium as the Eagles were hoping to start the season off with a bang. First quarter action, driving down the field. Eagles draw first blood on the touchdown strike to Justin Reynolds. And right here, the Eagles decide to go for 2 on this one. They get a penalty on the first try. Then Jackson Chacon comes up short, just short of the goal line. Second quarter action, Tahoka trying to play catch up. This pass attempt falls just incomplete. TLCA's defense comes up big, and with time running out in the first half, TLCA just looking to run out the clock to take this one at halftime. Chris Rangel carries the rock, but he gets tripped up by the Bulldogs. The Eagles hung on for a 6-0 advantage at half, but Tahoka takes the game in the second half after a strong effort. 28-12 final score. TLCA faces Cisco week 2 on the road. Wall versus Mason now. What was the matchup of the week here in the Concho Valley? 2 top 15 opponents going at it. The Punchers dealing with heavy injuries to start the season. 2 top 15 opponents going at it. The Punchers dealing with heavy injuries to start the year. Wall opening drive after a penalty took away a touchdown. Landon York finds Hagen Barbie for the first Wall touchdown of the year. 8-0 after the 2-point try and a few possessions later. Wall's going to pile it on with a 1-yard score here. Touchdown handoff to Yeager Thompson. 15-0 Wall, and just before half, Hawks connect on a long touchdown. York to Reed Robertson here, our new MMJ, with the perfect footage on this play. Stays on his feet. Wall with the early 22-0 lead. The Punchers put up a score, but are dealt a tough loss in Wade Griffin's tenure. His first game with Mason. They did have about 4 injuries, big injuries in this game. Final score in this one, 48-7 Hawks. They face Brownwood next. Mason facing Brady for their home opener. In Grape Creek action now, the Eagles hosting San Saba. Eagles looking to capitalize off of 2024's playoff berth. First quarter action, Grape Creek with the ball, handoff to number 11, who finds a lane and heads to the house, giving the Eagles the early 6-0 lead with the breakaway speed. This play right here later, Armadillos return the favor with 3 rushers in the backfield. He's going to walk this one into the end zone. It's a tie game after this great play right here. The 2-point try also no good, so we're still tied at 6-6 in this one. But from that point on, it was all visitors. San Saba gets it done in the stretch, walking out of town with the win. Grape Creek falls 27-12 to open up their season. Eagles taking on Reagan County next week on the road. And Brady football is going to close out 6A to 3A coverage. The Bulldogs on the road to kick off 2025 as they face San Antonio YMLA. The Bulldogs are looking to build off last year's by-district finish. Brady returns 14 total starters, and you could tell the experience was there on Friday night. It would go just as planned, a 60-0 smacking for the Bulldogs to start their season. Brady faces fellow Concho Valley Mason next week. Coming up next on Season Pass, we send it down to Class 2A. Next is 2 Concho Valley matchups kick things off when we return. Stay with us. Season Pass returns shortly. And welcome back in. We just finished up 6A to 3A. We're going to send it down to 2A. Cristobal and El Dorado kick things off in this Concho Valley matchup. Cougars under new leadership this year. Both the Eagles and Cougars finished in the by-district round last year. And we're going to send it right in. Johnny Ray Adami goes deep over the middle to Brayson Brock, who hauls it in. Remember those names this year. Make it 7-0 Eagles. And things were pretty quiet till the second quarter when the Eagles began driving again. This time Adami goes over the top to the big man Garrett Walling, who brings it in and keeps the drive alive. And the Eagles keep it on the ground with an inside run. Brayson Brock, who picks up some nice yards on this before taking a big hit to the 7-yard line, but it would pay off as it would set up the quarterback. Adami on this play here. Eagles would go up to halftime 14-0 on the Cougars and would fly away with this one 24-14. Cristobal faces Ballinger next week for their home opener. El Dorado on the road for Ozona for a tough Week 2 matchup. Back-to-back Concho Valley matchup. Staying in the 3-2A D1, Broncos taking on the Bulldogs to open up 20-25 miles opening possession. Pick 6 for Sonora to start this game off 8-0 Bulldogs. After the 2-point try, breaking a few tackles. He's going to stay on his feet here. What a nice return. Sonora, a few possessions later, on an outside run, is going to break a few tackles and a foot race for another score. Bulldogs are going to put on 14-0 early on in this one. Absolutely dusting the safety there. Miles with the ball again. Scramble drill to the quarterback's left. Liam Yancey, a big player last year, throws his second pick 6 of the game. Sonora's going to go up 20-0 after the cross-body throw here. He's crossing the field. He's going to take this one all the way. Broncos roll 40-0 open their season. Sonora facing Johnson City next week for the home opener. Miles taking on Sterling City. And Ozona up now, taking on McCamey to open up 2025 on their non-district schedule. The Lions finished last season in the by-district round and jumped into 2025 under new leadership, looking to get their explosive running back going this year. Ozona wins 65-0, also highlighted by the player of the week to kick things off. In 2025, Villarreal with 7 touchdowns on the game. Ozona faces El Dorado next week for their home opener. Sterling City up now. The Eagles also under new leadership this season as one of the 8 teams in the Concho Valley headed into 2025 with a new coach. The Eagles are looking to capitalize and improve on last season's by-district finale finish. Sterling City would drop their first game of the season, a tough 49-7 loss from the Cougars. Eagles taking on Miles next week for the Eagles home opener. And number 12 Junction closes out 2A coverage tonight. The Eagles are looking to capitalize on last year's massive success as they went 4 rounds deep as Coach Freeman and company are poised to make another great run. Junction taking care of business to open up the Eagles season. Final score in this one, 40-16. The Eagles will face San Saba for Week 2. And coming up next on Season Pass, we drop down to Class 1A, some 6-man ball with 4 of the 9 Concho Valley teams ranked. And a Concho Valley matchup. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back. Classes 6A to 2A all done. Class 1A up now. The number 3 Water Valley Wildcats are coming off a best ever state semifinal appearance in 2024. Grand Falls Royalty in town to kick off the year for the Bobcats. Head coach Trey Cisco looking for win number 1, and what a better start opening drive of the game. First play of the season for the Wildcats, handoff to Branson Lacey. He knows what to do with it, taking it 27 yards to the house, 8-0 Water Valley in very next drive. Second play of the season for the Wildcats, handoff to the senior Boston Weiss. A stiff arm, and 25 yards later, he's in for another Water Valley touchdown. 16-0 Cats early on, but from Water Valley, they were far from done. Third drive of the game, they can't just keep getting away with this. Branson Lacey's going to break this off for a 44-yard house call, giving the Cats a 24-0 lead still in the first quarter. The toss from Boston Weiss to Landon Lacey. Boston clearing a path for the QB1, another Water Valley touchdown. Friday night was all Wildcats. Boston and the Lacey's taking care of business. 54-0 open the season. Wildcats face Hermleigh Week 2. And the number 15 Robert Lee Steers shut out Lorraine Thursday night to open up the Concho Valley matchups. The Steers now lead the all-time series with the Bulldogs 21-10 and would go tack on another one after this week. A 52-0 halftime Mercy Rule. Number 15 Robert Lee will host Garden City next week in the home opener at Griffith Stadium. The Erie and County Hornets opened up their season against a Buena Vista Longhorns team on the road. Buena Vista leads the all-time series 9-4, including a 59-14 blowout last year, but the Hornets are hoping to turn things around, finishing 4-6 last year while playing one of the toughest schedules in the state. Longhorns took game 1 from the Hornets. Erie and County is going to face Rankin for Week 2. The very best Falcons up now on the road to open their season. This one against Zephyr, and the Bulldogs' very best will lean on their ground game this year as head coach Justin Morris looks for his first win as a Falcon. 46-0 Bulldogs in this one. Very best on the road again next week against Witherall. And it was an all Concho Valley showdown on Friday night as Eden and the Bulldogs hosted the Paint Rock Indians. The Bulldogs came out on top in the 26th of the 35 meetings, and having won 4 straight against the Indians, Paint Rock would fall to Eden in this one 50-0. Paint Rock with their home opener week 2 against Lorain. Eden on the road in Sydney. And the number 19 Menard Yellow Jackets created quite a buzz last season, and they're hoping to do the same this year. They welcomed the Blanket Tigers to town Friday night. This is just the 4th meeting between these programs. Last year's contest ended in a 14-all tie. This year it would be all Menard sending Blanket home with a loss to open their season. Yellow Jackets facing Rochelle on the road week 2. Number 15, Blackwell hit the road to Aspermont Friday night for a Battle of Hornets. Blackwell was looking for that elusive win. Aspermont coming up short the first 3 times, including a 64-44 game last year. Blackwell gets handed a tough opening week, lost to kick off 2025, 72-24, a little lopsided. Blackwell at home next week for their home opener hosting Zephyr. And the Broughton Longhorns open the season Thursday night as well with Robert Lee against Santa Ana in what was Rocky Rawls' first game as head coach returning. First quarter already 24-0. Broughton offense exploded early on this one, but that's not all. Longhorns defense forces the fumble. Andrew Rico with the recovery. Broughton came up empty on the ensuing drive, but zooming ahead to the second quarter, Joel Pena plows up the middle. Broughton 4 scores, 32-0. Broughton not done dominating yet, though. Puts the secondary on skates, draws oohs and ahs from the crowd. 38-0. Broughton. Sperry adds another one before half, 45-0, and that's all she wrote. Broughton takes this by that final score. Game called at half via the Mercy Rule. Rocky Rawls with his first win back. Broughton faces Rule week 2. Coming up next on Season Pass, Griff McClellan joins us again in studio for everything Angelo State Athletics. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back.
Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back to our first season pass of the new school year. I'm Griff McClellan, back with more Angelo State Athletics coverage like last year. The new season of Angelo State Fall Sports is officially underway, and starting on the gridiron, let's kick off a new year of Rams football. The defending Lone Star Conference champions seek their 3rd such title in 4 seasons, and that quest began at Fort Hays State Thursday night, August 28th. The Rams boast the 2024 LSC MVP quarterback Braden Fuller and enter the season ranked 13th in the nation with 3 players on the top 100 watch list. And understandably so, ASU is projected to win the conference once again. Head coach Jeff Gersh spoke to the media last Monday, 3 days before the season opener.
You know, you're bringing back, obviously, the Player of the Year, Lone Star Conference Offensive Player of the Year in Braden Fuller, as well as, you know, Defensive Lineman of the Year and Owen Seaver. So both sides have some big names to that part of it, and that's just 2 guys. There's so many more people. You know, offensively, I feel like our skill group is as good as it's ever been, you know, with the receiver room, the running back room. We've just continued to develop those players.
And you might wonder, how did Thursday's season opener go? Well, here you go. ASU takes care of business, winning 28-7. Quarterback Braden Fuller goes 12 of 19 on the night for 177 passing yards, plus 3 touchdowns, gets sacked 4 times, but that doesn't matter because the Rams defense holds strong all night as the Rams open the year 1-0 in non-conference play. Now to the courts. Rambell's volleyball has wrapped up its 4 preseason scrimmages. The final versus Eastern New Mexico took place this weekend at Janelle Center, a little under a week before the regular season opener on Friday, September 5th, marking the start of the Kathleen Brassfield Invitational right here in San Angelo. ASU replaces some big names this season from last year's roster, but a handful of underclassmen who played a vital role in 2024's success return to lead the Rambells to another strong campaign. Head coach Chuck Waddington spoke to the media Monday as well as the season opener approaches.
Well, the scrimmages are nice to kind of give you a gauge of where you are, you know, and I think we played a couple on Friday. They gave us a feel, but then we played a much tougher opponent on Saturday. Alvin Christian, they're just getting better and better every year as their head coach, EJ, just kind of brings in more and more of her types of players, you know, so that was a lot of fun. Getting to compete against them, but it definitely gave us some direction. Like, what are the areas that we need to work on? You know, what do we want to get better at? And I think, you know, there's a few things that just are under construction, you know, like they're developing. So, and I like that because you don't want to be polished, you know, after 4 days of practice.
And looking ahead to the regular season, the second-ranked Ramblers begin the new campaign at the Janelle Center this Friday, September 5th, hosting the 2025 Kathleen Brassfield Invitational. ASU takes on Arkansas Monticello in its opening match starting at 11 a.m. Now moving to the soccer field, Ramblers soccer begins its countdown to the regular season starting Thursday, September 4th. ASU faces a tough task early in non-conference hosting Colorado School of Mines, the same opponent that eliminated them in the South Central Regional a year ago. The Ramblers return a few veterans who have been monumental this offseason in helping acclimate new members as big position changes approach. Nonetheless, ASU is still poised to make another great run this season. Head coach Travis McCorkle also spoke to the media to give his thoughts going into the new year.
I think the returners have done a good job of trying to incorporate the new players, teaching them the vocabulary, different things about like how we warm up on game day. I think they've done a really good job of just being returners and doing what returners are supposed to do. And then I think that our new players have embraced this opportunity, and they seem to have incorporated really well. I mean, I can't speak for everyone on the team, but from what I see from the outside looking in on them, it looks like things are going well.
And, of course, looking ahead to the season opener, ASU looks to defend its home field this Thursday versus, again, a familiar opponent. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m.
The Cowboys days ago made a blockbuster trade with the Green Bay Packers, sending Micah Parsons, yes, Micah Parsons, to Wisconsin in exchange for picks and a player. Mickey Spagnola has an update on the Cowboys.
There seems to be a lot of negativity hovering over the Dallas Cowboys after trading four-time Pro Bowl defensive end Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. But I can tell you this, there is one happy camper about this trade for sure here at the Star. His name is Kenny Clark. He's a three-time Pro Bowl veteran defensive tackle, and he was part of the compensation along with 2 first-round draft choices the Cowboys received in return.
I mean, I'm just going to bring the physicality. I'm going to do my job. And, I mean, it takes all 11 at the end of the day. It just takes everybody understanding what they need to do, holding everybody accountable. You know, one guy can't just stop the run. You know, everybody got to be on top of it. And, you know, that's going to be my job, is to do my job and be physical, play ball how I know how to play ball, and also get all the other 10 guys around me to understand, you know, their gaps and where they fit in, and, you know, how we can stop it together.
And while this is not mentioned as part of the trade, the Cowboys actually opened up $20 million against the salary cap for this year, and in the future, the $40 million a year they would have spent on Micah Parsons. For the Silver Star Nation, Mickey Spagnola here at the Star.
And that wraps up week 1 of Season Pass. Follow us at the Concho Valley homepage. Good night, Concho Valley.
Thank you for watching Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank. For more in-depth stories, scores, and highlights, head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Previously on NCIS Hawaii.
I think there's a high-level mole in U.S. intelligence here in Hawaii.
Janie,